I'm Jason. Hey. And we're bringing you today's video. I gotta be careful I'm not talking as she licks my teeth. Don't you? Yes, you do. We're bringing you today's video. So as always, guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We appreciate all those support you guys may want to give us. We're going to do this anyway. We're a small family channel, guys, so the support really means a lot to us. But we're going to talk about books no matter what. So today I want to talk about an author that we've talked about quite a few times in the past, kind of continuing a vein. It'll probably be my last one for a little while because I've finished all the recent rereads that I've started. Because we have quite a few fans for this particular genre. I want to talk about Louis Lamour. And I want to talk about his book, Tucker. So unlike some of the more recent reviews I've done where we talked a lot about his short stories, this one is one of his full-length novels. Now, I've read every Louis L'Amour book, guys, all of them, everything he's written, even some of the more modern stuff, but I've just been rereading them so I can talk about them for you guys. And this is one that I'd actually forgotten about. This one I really like because it's a little bit different than some of his other fare. A lot of times Louis L'Amour's books, they're more the man with no name, the drifting gunfighter that walks into town. Basically the guy that's almost unbeatable in a way, or just, you know, not just a legend, not just a legendary character, but a almost perfect character. Of course, you know, they experience their trials and tribulations, but again, his characters a lot of times are just, you know, just absolutely the pinnacle. Like the Kilkenny series. There's 3 books on the Kilkenny, and he pops up in one of those short stories as well. And he's the fastest gunfighter in the West. The way he writes, he's basically the fastest gunfighter anywhere, ever. So he, you know, former officer, military officer, just has all these skills, and you know, just this incredible loadout of skills, and that's a lot of his characters. They're tracking, wilderness survival, gunfighting masters of everything. And while it's interesting, and it definitely fits in with a lot of our, you know, romanticized Old West kind of stuff, the characters all kind of start to blend together. Now with Tucker, it gets a little bit different. So this particular one actually more deals with it starts out really dealing with a child. I think he's 17. So in the Old West, that was pretty much a man, but just a little farmer's kid. That doesn't have this great, you know, he wasn't raised by mountain man and has all these incredible skills. He's just a kid that's a little bit rebellious, you know, the Old West version of an emo, almost a little bit rebellious, or not really an emo, more of a, you know, just hangs out with the bad kids, stuff like that. And it's more dealing with his trials and tribulations. Cause so in Tucker, Shell, that's his name, his middle name is Shelvin, he ends up going by Shell halfway through the novel. So him and his father just are coming back from selling a bunch of cattle, and it was their cattle and their neighbor's cattle, so they're carrying a lot of money that is only partially theirs. And an accident occurs, his father is injured, and the money is stolen. The money is stolen, and it turns out it is stolen by the bad boys that Shell has been hanging out with. His father does not end up surviving the injury, and Shell has a epiphany, a come to Jesus moment, realizes that he doesn't want, he's not one of the bad boys, and he wants to do the right thing, which means get the money back for his neighbors. And that is the thrust of this book. That is the focus of this entire novel, is Shell trying to track down 3 people and get his money back. And how does he do it? Again, he has no skills, other than some minor skill with a gun, because, you know, again, he was the bad boy, so he was off practicing in the woods kind of thing. So he's decently quick, but and a decent shot, but again, has no other skills beyond that. So, you know, he's trying to track these people down. He's trying to follow them. One of them is almost a legendary outlaw, very well known all throughout the West. Everywhere they go, that they hear about this guy, Bob Heseltine. You know, the sheriffs are, of course, nervous. People, you know, saloon keepers are scared of the guy. He's bad news. Bad news. And the other's just marginally. So almost right out the bat, Shell ends up meeting somebody that literally meeting him out in the middle of nowhere as he comes across a buffalo hunter's camp, and meets this guy that decides to travel along with him, you know, an older guy, that introduces Shell to more of a world. And that's one of the things that was always really, really good with Louis L'Amour. All right, Fuzzy. It was always really, really good with Louis L'Amour is that he talked about how important education was and reading and learning, and how the people that really, really, really make the world a better place and make society a better place are your businessmen, your educators, people that are trying to move things forward. And this side character tries to introduce Shell to those people, introduces him to major business people, and in this book in particular, as you know, very brief, almost cameo appearances are real historical figures that Louis L'Amour likes to put little footnotes in, real historical figures and businessmen. And that's part of this book as well, is Shell just not only tracking these people down, but growing up, learning more about the world, learning more about business, meeting the respectable people, learning the right ways to do things instead of hanging out with the bad boys. And that's what I like so much about this particular book, is that it's a little bit different. Again, you don't have this god-level master woodsman character. You just have you have a boy that just wants to get his money back for his neighbors. You know, he's not worried about his money. He's worried about his neighbor's money because they're poor and they need that money. And they trusted him and his dad to get it to them. So it's, again, a fascinating book. If you guys like Westerns, you guys like Louis L'Amour, go check it out. After you guys hit the like and subscribe buttons, go check out Tucker by Louis L'Amour. Different than a lot of his other books. Just as good, though. Just as good. And quite fascinating because it's different. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.